Title: The Forgotten Room. Ryan stood at the edge of the train platform, watching the skies slowly drown in shades of gray. Clara had left 2 weeks ago for her restoration project, an old, abandoned mansion in the far-off village of Black Hollow, nearly 500 kilometers away. She had promised to be back in a week, but her last message, a voice note saying, "Something's off here, I'll call you soon," had been 4 days ago. There was no call after that. No replies. Only silence. Ryan couldn't sit back any longer. A quiet whisper in his gut screamed something was terribly wrong. He packed a small bag and took the first train heading toward Black Hollow. Chapter 1: The Mansion of Mourning. The cab dropped Ryan off just before the broken gate of Wickmore Estate. The iron arch still held the faded plaque, Wickmore Mansion, 1843. Vines tangled themselves over the fence like clawing fingers. The air was damp. A rotten scent clung to the breeze. He pushed open the gate. It groaned like a dying man, and stepped into the dead garden. The massive stone mansion stood before him like a forgotten god, its windows blank and soulless. There were no signs of recent life, not even the truck Clara was supposed to use for restoration. Ryan knocked on the door. Silence. He tried the handle. It opened with a rusty creak. "Clara?" he called out. No answer. Only the house's breath. Wind whistling through broken windows and creaking wooden beams. Inside, the air was thick. Dust floated like memories and old portraits watching from the walls. Faces faded, some scratched out. Furniture was covered in white sheets. He stepped over scattered tools, broken brushes, an open journal with Clara's handwriting. "Something is wrong with the East Wing. I hear whispers. I see reflections of people who aren't there. I dream of drowning in walls." Ryan's heart pounded. Chapter 2: Whispers from the East. The East Wing smelled of mildew and something else, burnt hair. As he entered, the corridor narrowed. A cold gust swept past him, despite no open windows. He saw movement in a shattered mirror hanging at the end of the hall. A woman, standing, watching him. He turned quickly, nothing. The mirror cracked further on its own. Clara's voice whispered behind him, "Help me." He spun around. Again, no one. Rooms in the East Wing were different. Time felt paused. In one room, he found Clara's backpack. Her phone, battery dead. He plugged it into a power bank. While it charged, he explored deeper. One room had walls lined with peeling wallpaper. When Ryan touched it, he noticed something odd. There was a seam, a small hidden door, long nailed shut. He pulled at the boards. A stench poured out. Old blood, wet earth. Behind it was a spiral staircase, leading downward. Chapter 3: The Forgotten Room. The basement was not part of the blueprints Clara had shown him before. It wasn't even mentioned in any records. At the bottom, he found a heavy door, half buried under rubble. He pushed it open. Inside, candlelight flickered, but there were no candles. The room was circular. Strange symbols were painted on the walls in what looked like dried blood. In the center, an altar. On it, claw marks. And something even worse. Nails. Human nails. Then he heard it. Soft sobbing. "Clara?" He turned. Clara stood at the doorway, pale, her eyes wide, lips trembling. "Ryan, you shouldn't have come," she whispered. He rushed to her, hugged her. She was ice. "We have to go. You've been missing for..." "No," she said. "I'm trapped. They don't let go." "Who? Who doesn't?" She pointed behind him. Ryan turned and saw them. Spirits. Dozens. Twisted, burned, faceless. Their mouths open in screams, but no sound came out. They hovered inches above the ground. One of them surged forward. Ryan grabbed Clara and ran. Chapter 4: The Rescue. The spirits chased them up the spiral staircase. Whispers filled the air. "She belongs to us." She broke the seal. "She must stay." Ryan slammed the basement door shut and ran to the front entrance with Clara. The door wouldn't open. The house changed. Hallways twisted. Doors vanished. The air grew thick with heat. A low growl came from the walls themselves. They ran upstairs. Clara screamed, clutching her head. "They're inside me," she cried. Ryan forced her into a room and locked the door. Inside, an old mirror flickered to life. A scene played like a memory. Clara, alone weeks ago. She was standing in the basement room. Whispers in the air. She drew a line in chalk. Opened the altar. Screamed. Darkness swallowed her. The image froze on her twisted, bloody body lying on the floor. Ryan stared in horror. "No." He turned to Clara. Her face was calm now. "They killed me, Ryan," she said softly. He shook his head. "No, you're here. We can leave." "I never left. I'm a memory, a piece. They're using me to bring you here." Suddenly, the door burst open. The spirits entered. Ryan backed away, holding Clara's hand, but it slipped through his fingers like smoke. "Run!" she screamed. He bolted. Chapter 5, The Escape. Ryan tore through the house. Rooms stretched longer than they should have. Hallways folded into themselves. Behind him, laughter, a child's laughter. He turned. A boy with hollow eyes whispered, "She's with us now." Paintings bled from their frames. Mirrors shattered as he passed. The house moaned and trembled. He found the front door again. It was open. He didn't look back. Epilogue. A shadow in the mirror. Ryan collapsed outside the mansion, gasping. The air was different, normal. The sky was blue again. He looked back. Wickmore stood silent, lifeless. A week passed. Authorities found no trace of Clara. The basement didn't exist on inspection. Locals claimed the mansion was sealed for decades. No restoration was ever approved. No one believed him. But he knew what he saw. At home, alone one night, Ryan stared into his bathroom mirror. For a moment, he saw her. "Clara," she smiled, then whispered, "You should have stayed." The mirror cracked. The lights flickered. And behind him, the whispering began again. Story end.